This car apparently sat out in a field for, well, since the early 90s, so it's been outside, exposed to the weather for quite a bit. But I'll walk you around the car, we'll talk about what we're going to do, and of course some of the stuff we find as we start to tear them further apart. As you can see, we've got it on the rotisserie. We did the mounts on the outside of the rockers so that we can get fully at that floor. We were really after the shell. We're building a recreation of the Fast and Furious car. This is a 70 Charger, and this is going to have a 1200 horse blown Hemi in it. So we're tying everything in. This will all be under the console in here. And the idea is to make it a very, very strong cockpit for whoever's driving this thing, because if it ever gets away on them, it's going to be a mess. So you want the customer to walk away. So we're just sort of still doing mock-up in here.
Once you lock it up in the center there.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about this too, whether it looks like it might be pulling this down or not, or it's not terrible. There's quite a bit of flex there. So I wonder if we pull this forward, if I just go right into there, or add tabs off the backside of that maybe.
Yeah, we can anchor it forward, get some pressure on it, and then we can put tabs on the back.
Tabs on the backside?
Fasten it there.
Like that.
And our hood's not attached.
Yeah, the hood, it's got a ratchet at the front. Start this one.
We'll go the other way.
Okay.
We're going towards the.
We're going your end down. Whenever you're ready,
Trunk
John.
lid's bolted on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Give it a twist.
There might be a couple things moving in the trunk. A little bit more.
More of it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Just a block of wood.
Oh.
And the firewall, which is the.
There will never be enough tire under this car for it to get traction. We're going to have to detune it to 800 or 900 horsepower just so it's streetable.
She's a little wobbly.
Hey, Mike. Mike's favorite.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Film crew in.
Huh?
Film crew in.
Yeah, well, we were monkeying around with some rims and stuff we had here, just to get a feel for how it would fill up that wheel well. So these are a 335, which is pretty wide, and it's not going to matter because there's so much horsepower that's going in this car that it doesn't matter what you put under the back, it's going to scorch them right off. As you can see, we've already done the interior structure with all the roll cage. It also has a tube chassis. In the shop here, we make our own rear ends and stuff, so it has a Fab 9 rear end, which is a angular differential housing with a 9-inch Ford pod in it. It's going to have a Tremec 5-speed and the Hemi in it. So, and we do all our own brakes and everything. So we do all of our own front A-arms, etc. So we'll add the Willwood braking kits to it. So it's all top-notch stuff on this car. But I don't know if you recall what this looked like when it came in. What are you up to there, Mike? What are you doing on the car?
Well, we got the front bumper here. So with all the tube chassis going through the whole entire car, we're
Right.
trying to adapt factory brackets onto
A tube
what
frame.
we've created here. So just trying to keep it symmetrical and made the new with the old. And
Yeah.
but it's kind of crazy. This whole front bumper and grille section is the whole front end of the car, and it ties and it lines up with
Right
the
in
fenders
there.
and everything. So
Yeah.
you know, if you're off 1/8 of an inch, the whole
Yeah,
car is going to be
things-
twisted. So
Cockeyed, yeah.
measure 3 times, cut once kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's coming together though, and everything on the front end here has been recreated from factory too, just out of solid steel.
Right.
So we can tap into it and mount this
So what's
bumper
going to
both
happen
ways.
on this is the car is going to be gloss black, and instead of stainless or chrome trim, it's all going to be a satin black. So it's going to, what do they call it? Murdered out.
Murdered out.
Murdered
Blacked
out, they
murdered
call
out,
it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do with this one. It'll suit the car. The guy that we're doing this for, he likes everything a certain way, you know, and
He's getting it.
he's getting there. We got a truck on the other side we're doing for him as well, which will sort of follow along as we go too. It's tube chassis. It's got what we call Lambo fenders on the back, massive tires on it, and it's going to have an LS with a supercharger. It'll be, I'm going to say what, 900 horse probably, you know, so
This one will be 1,000.
1,200 roughly on this.
That'd be a good drag race.
Just just a lot heavier too, though.
Yeah.
You know, next up is to, you know, get the front mocked up, because we couldn't get at it when it was on the rotisserie. And, you know, do a little bit more sanding and start getting paint on it. Just changes the whole thing, right? So,
This is the messy stuff. This is the stuff that the wife doesn't like. Walk in the house, she refers to me as pig pen. You know, after I've been doing this all day. This is where you really have to pay attention to what you're doing, trying to get all these lines nice and crisp and straight.
Just fitting up this front bumper here. Got all the custom bumper mounts all made up here now. We use the factory kind of wishbone mounts and attached it to the tube chassis there. So trying to fit all the gaps, get them all nice, and progress. So this bumper being super heavy and made out of solid steel and, you know, quality metals back in the day, you want to have a strong bracket. The other good thing about this bracket is kind of got a factory crumple zone in it, so if you do get in an accident, it'll kind of spread itself apart as opposed to transferring all the pressure through the frame rails. So should hold up to the horsepower it's going to have, but it will twist a bit, especially with the body lines here lining up with the fenders. We're going to put a rubber gasket in here that it comes with from factory too, so that'll prevent any paint on paint. Looking like a Charger again though.
Clean up here, it's going in for paint. Should be first thing tomorrow morning. So tomorrow will be a day.
A little fine tuning on the last sand. A couple little low spots, we're just trying to get them out. I put some guide coat on it, so the guide coat comes out black, so when you have a low spot you can basically see where it is. So it's just a little bit of fine tuning, and it's going to be a black car, so it's got to be straightened, it's got to be level. It's going to be beautiful.
So to get the shell all painted up and so we can start doing some assembly on that, some wiring and running brake lines and fuel lines and getting some interior stuff done and dash work finished up, and then all of this accessory stuff, as I'm going to call it, can be done after the fact and, you know, put back together at final assembly and we'll get it all polished up. Loaded up a bucket of black and threw it at it there yesterday afternoon. Yeah, it looks all right for a Charger, I guess. Let you be the judge of that. There's multiple different types of black variants that you can buy. This one is a blue black, so it's like a midnight black. There's a lot of other manufacturers that go and they have black cars, black trucks, what have you, but the toners that they put in them can drastically change the look of the color when you put two different types side by side. For example, Ford, their black has a lot of earth tone toners in it, less like yellows and browns and like russets, like reds and things. And if you were to take that color and put it, butt it up against this color here, one would look brown and one would look black. There's a lot of people don't think so. You know, black is black is black. Well, not the case when you're in this industry. Yeah, well, if I put a tack on it so it'll stay there, then I can manipulate it. Trying to get our suspension all together here. Got Mike over there making up some mounting tabs and brackets for coilovers and control arms, and
just working on some brackets for some suspension mounts. Hard to say with my lisp. But no, we just got the plasma machine up and running, so just trying to dial in the cutting head and figure out the program. So we're just monkeying around with some tracing paper here, and we need to make some shock mounts for the Dodge Charger. So I'm gonna add a mounting hole here. This will grab both frame rails, and then we'll be able to mount our adjustable coilover right through here and save us time cutting this out by hand. Make some progress on the Dodge Charger here. Just got our new seats in, built some custom tracks for it, got some wheels mocked up, and she's coming together bit by bit. A little bit of monkeying around we had to do because the custom floors that we did inside the car with all the roll cage made it narrower, so we had to narrow these up, but everything's functioning as it should. You're able to grab your recliner the way that the seats and the roll cage kind of match each other, so far so good. Dave, when he did the roll cage, he actually used these seats as mock-up, and he followed the contour, so when you're getting in and out, you're not hitting into this roll bar here, and they move forward and back without any interference. So these are the actual wheels that are going to be going on the car. We just got them mounted and balanced. So now that we got them in there, we can pull some measurements to cut our rear end, and then we can start installing our axles and whatnot. And tomorrow we should be able to mount all the fenders and even get our front rims and tires on and make sure the width there is all good and throw some shocks in it. Just ordered a brand new dash pad for the front. Then we're making custom leather dash pad for the top, because usually this is all painted, but we're just trying to make it a little bit custom on the inside here and spruce it up a bit.